Okay, I think I'm live. Solo live streaming today, so I have to go through and make sure everything is working. Okay, we're on YouTube. I know that. Let's take a look at the Heroes Journal Facebook page. I don't see us live on this one. Oh, there it is. Sorry. Let's make sure. Can I pin this post? Okay, I'm gonna get the form ready here. Let's see if this one works. This is an old one, so this might be a... Sorry, guys. Moving a little bit slow today because it's just going to be me. And okay, now you guys have my full attention. The only problem is I don't know where to find the chat. Usually because we're, streaming on like a Zoom call basically with multiple people, usually me, Ryan, Kyle, or at least, me and Kyle. Things are a little bit different, but I think today, because I'm solo, the chat looks a little different, but I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Okay. I can see this. Hi, Wakana. Sky, how you doing? Nova, Pax, good to see you. Thank you, Nova, for being here, by the way. I didn't realize that you were like a new hero to the group. I thought you had been around for a little bit. And I want to give you a quick shout out. For those who are in school, Nova just started their first journal because they won Free Journal Friday last week or maybe a few weeks ago. And so that's exciting. I don't think I've ever really heard someone being able to start their journey because of Free Journal Friday. But that's really cool. And if you guys aren't in the school group, you should join. All right. Hi, Pondering Hobbit. Sky, what's up? Joanna, how you doing? Ashley, hello. Juanita, howdy. Kiara, what's up, Kiara? Yeah, Restream, Jeffrey, is just a platform that allows people to stream on multiple platforms. And so we are actually live on YouTube and on our Facebook right now. But I think most people watch on Facebook or YouTube, but not everyone. So, okay. I want to do something a little bit different this week. Since I'm the one driving the ship, I'm the only one at the live stream. Kyle has been out this week, and Ryan is actually traveling. And so they're both out. Sorry, getting a phone call. That's fun. Because they're both out, I want to do the giveaway a little bit differently today. And so we're not going to spin the wheel. It's not going to be a random selection. I want to do it a different way. I think what we're going to do is I want to give a journal based off of participation in the live stream, and also, just in terms of maybe who has some of the best comments or the best engagement. Now, it's so totally subjective. This is not a fair game, right? So I'm just going to pick the winner at the end, mostly because it's fun to change it up every now and then, and also I don't want to sit here on the live stream and set up the forms and post everything and spin the wheel and have you guys just sit at my blank face. So yeah. All right. And because I'm by myself, I'm going to need some help from y'all. I want to talk a lot more to the chat and see how you guys are doing. But I still want to hit the main beats. So I want to talk about our little story o'clock. want to hear about any stories that you guys are consuming, reading, watching, movies, shows, TV, books, whatever. And then I want to hear, obviously, brag o'clock. And then I'm going to pick the winner of Free Drill Friday. And I mostly just want to know, how are we doing? How are we doing today? How has this week been? I'll be honest. Obviously there's a little bit of a delay because I can talk and you guys have to type. So I'm just going to go first. It's been a tough week for me. Lay it out there. I never feel any pressure to lie to the Heroes Journal community because I think that our product really lends itself to honesty. And I think that heroes that are actually in the story and working on themselves and trying to complete their quests, I don't think it's always pretty. And I just had a rough week. I think a mix of, Kyle being out and a mix of Ryan traveling, those are like my work best friends and also my real best friends. And also, I don't want to be doom and gloom. So we're going to dip our toes in the doom and gloom water, and then we're going to get out because it's positive live stream time. But I think just the political state of, and I'm not trying to get political about things. It's more actually about the tariffs in the market. Those sort of things really affect our business and, make it harder and harder to do business. And to be honest with you guys, it's been a tough few years already on any online business, on any e-commerce business, and really on any business. You guys know costs are rising in the US. Things are getting more expensive. There's not a lot of people predicting that we're exactly headed towards like a really great economic time. So, like I promised, we're just dipping our toes in the doom and gloom. We're not going to soak in that for a little bit because that's not what this live stream's about. There is plenty of that content out there in the world. Plenty of live streams that will let you be, sad and doom and gloom. But we're not going to do that because, look, we're trying to be a positive place. And even if, you're having a bad day or a bad week, you can still be positive about it. And so I'm gonna choose to be in that space. All right, I'm gonna read some reviews about the week. Look at all this involvement. You guys are great. Hey Jeff, also. All right. Sky said it's been a recovery week. Helped a friend at the ferry market. That sounds fun. Used all my spoons and more, so I was really hurting. Spoons, like silverware. But it was a lovely spring week. Yeah, I want to hear what the weather is like, and also, where you're watching from. I'm in Austin, and it's heating up. Austin, Texas. We have really beautiful, winter, spring. It's great. I moved here from Seattle, so I get to make all my family jealous because it's like 80 degrees here, and it's like rainy and gross. But now I'm starting to eat my words because it's starting to get into like the 90s, and you step outside and you start sweating. So anyway, I'm glad to hear it's been spring for you, Sky. It's fantastic. Okana says, does playing ESO count for story? I don't know what ESO stands for, but honestly, I would totally say a game counts as a little story. I totally would. That qualifies. Weather is weird here, says Jeff. Major storms and floods. That's right. I think you're in Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken, Jeff. And I heard that's been like there's just been apocalyptic weather. Like there's tornado warnings and stuff. Hopefully you and all your loved ones out there are doing okay. Ace said, got my learner's permit finally on Wednesday. That's exciting. Nova, I want to compliment your camera comfort. It's not easy for me, and you seem really good at it. Wow. Thank you, Nova. I appreciate that. Camera comfort. I've never heard of that. Is that just, I'm not sure what that means. Just my comfort on camera or what? Lynn says this week has been pretty good. Lynn says this week's been pretty good, but I'm feeling pressure to get busy getting ready for leaving my home for 9 months to travel. From Kenya. To travel from Kenya, from the States, for reporting to supporters. That is a lot of pressure. Obviously, it's a big trip, but how exciting. A little Walter Mitty moment, it sounds like, for you. Very cool. Very, very cool. Sorry, I'm probably falling way behind on these comments. Okay, what else we got? Deb, thanks for popping in. Universal health care in the 40s over there. We can only dream. I know. Again, we're not getting political. I said that. Started a new role in sustainability this week. Congratulations. What else we got? Started Diviner's Bow by Sharon Lee and Steve Miller, the latest book in the Liaden universe. Am I saying that right? Liaden universe? That sounds good. How many books are in that universe or series, Lynn? I'm curious. Deb said, I had a creative writing class at the VA early this morning, and all we did was bitch and moan about this by the hour, current stuff. Yeah, easy to do. I don't want to do any more bitching and moaning if I can avoid it. You know, I do a good enough job. Weird weather here, says Joanna. Springfield, Missouri, possible flooding. Goodness. Central Valley of California, Fresno, low 70s, 68 today. So awesome. You know, Deb, at least your weather's good. Feeling good. Elder Scrolls Online. Oh, that's a story. That's awesome. Worth playing. If you guys can believe it, I've been playing a ton of Halo 3, which is a first-person shooter. Literally, I mean, there is a campaign, but I'm not playing the campaign. I'm just playing PvP. My old high school buddies kind of wrangled me back into it. And it's like, it's funny because I'm playing online. There's probably less than 500 people that still play this game regularly, if that. And for some reason, it brings back all the nostalgia. And so I've been hooked on that. Not really a story engagement thing, but Victoria Gray's been a bit of a rough week physically. The last 2 days I made desserts just because. Love that. Today's Brookies. I love a brownie. A brownie on top, cookie on the. Oh wait, sorry. Brownies on top. No wait. Brownies on the bottom. Chocolate chip cookies on the top. That was hard for me to say. I was getting so excited. Weather in here, can't decide. I'm in South Dakota, where one day is in the 70s and the next has snow. You're brave. You are so brave. A lot of weather talk. A lot of this. A lot of that. So great. So great. Trying to get into Pokemon. Book 27? Oh my goodness. Okay. Lynn said there's 27 books in the universe. That's so cool. I hope one day we can make 27 heroes journals that are all in the same hero verse or whatever we're calling it. I'm curious. Speaking of new heroes journals, I'm all over the place today. There's no script. There's no order to things. I'm just blabbing. But we are working on what I think is the best heroes journal to date. And I have said this every time we make a new journal, which I do. I stand by that. I think it's gotten better every time. But y'all, this is a far cry. This is a massive step towards innovation and I just think towards such a better hero experience. And really, I can take no credit for it. It is so much Ryan and the work and just the amount of time and attention to detail and the little subtleties. And just, it's one thing, you guys see what shows up on the page, obviously, after it's, printed and you get it and you sort of get the whole thing at once. But, being sort of behind the scenes with Ryan, being on the calls with him as he's kind of massaging out these ideas and these characters and these scenes and how it's all going to play out, to see, how his brain works and like pulls references off the shelf of his mind palace, references he's seen years and years ago to make them relevant and stuff like that. It's like, it is one of my favorite things in the world. And, not only is this Heroes Journal an absolute love letter to anyone who is on a self-improvement journey, it's also a love letter to anyone who's ever loved Kung Fu movies or Kung Fu Panda or Avatar: The Last Airbender, Dragon Ball Z, any of that sort of Kung Fu, martial arts, the warrior, learning to be a warrior, from the mentor, like all those tropes are just like so nicely packaged into this Heroes Journal already. And it really breaks form from the other stuff that we've done in the past. And I'm already, I'll be honest, I'm already excited to go back and give an update, I would say. Not a sequel, not a prequel, but just give an update to the other Heroes Journals. Like Legend of Astoria, for instance. I'm going through Legend of Astoria right now, and I'm seeing these new pages come out for The Way of Astoria, our newest journal. And I'm just like, we need to we need to update, the quality of what we're doing. And so anyway, sorry, I'm all over the place. But Deb said finished last house on Needle Street yesterday. The dissociative disorder was like tripled down in the main character, and suddenly he integrated. I'm like, okay. I don't really even know what that means. You saw me try to pronounce that word. Jeff said, did a new product demo to our leadership group. My partners did some fantastic work and research. We looked good based on feedback from management. That's cool. I love these little work updates from you, Jeff. I don't know what you do. I don't think you've ever explained it to me. I'm not asking you to, because I kind of like how vague these updates are. And I like just giving you a virtual pat on the back from afar. I like it. It's fun. To me, you could be in the CIA, and I'd be like, Jeff's in the CIA, and he's doing a good job. So great. Okay. What else we got? Yeah, 27 Heroes Journals, Lynn. That's correct. Let's see. Pondering said, my son has watched me use the Heroes Journal and enjoyably engage in the live stream. So this week he glanced through my journals. He's intrigued and wants to try one himself. Well, Pondering Hobbit, let me know what kind of fandom you think your son would be into. Is he a Lord of the Rings kind of person? Is he Star Wars, sci-fi, space operas? Is he more of a Harry Potter, Magic Academy person? I know I had all of my phases with all those different fandoms. And if he doesn't really care, then what's his favorite color? That's usually what I tell people. Really great. Airbender, all the love. You know what's insane? I've never seen Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I know that that's embarrassing to say out loud, but I feel safe with you guys. So now you know. Maybe I should start watching it as we release this journal. Is it worth it? Would you guys recommend watching Avatar: The Last Airbender? I feel like you would. Yeah. What else? Nick is the chaos element and a lot more. I don't know what that means, Sky. I hope it's a compliment. It's probably is, knowing you. You're always very kind. But I love it. How did the three of you get together to create the Heroes Journal? That's a fun little lore question. Well, Juanita, I'm assuming you mean me. Forgot my name. Me, Kyle, and Ryan. So Kyle and I, we met in college. Actually, we lived on the same dorm floor. And so that's how we became friends. And very early on in our friendship, we bonded over two things. In fact, it's funny. I didn't really like Kyle the first time I met him. He was too much for me, too much energy. And I was like more introverted at the time. And I wanted to read my books and be all mysterious and cynical about the world. I was in college, but everyone goes through the phase, the pseudo-intellectual phase. And so I was kind of in that season. And he was a freshman. He was a year younger than me in school. And so he was, all giddy and excited about the world and being out in college for the first time. And we bonded over like literature, actually. Like we really enjoyed reading books together. And we also really enjoyed playing video games together. We also really enjoyed like we had a lot of the same random interests that weren't super connected to each other. Like, we loved all that stuff, but also loved playing basketball together. We also loved like debating each other on like, all these ideas and stuff. And we also love like going to coffee shops and just like trying new coffees and critiquing that. And just, we ended up just really enjoying each other's company, truly. And, that developed into a really impactful friendship that, later evolved into us being co-founders. But we've been best friends for probably over a decade. We've been co-founders for about 6 years of that. And it's great. One of the things, and then we met Ryan, of course, like the first month, I want to say, after having the business idea, we were like, we need to find an artist. And so we looked on Upwork, and when I tell you, we got so lucky. I've never been more grateful for anything in the Heroes Journal. Truly. We've gotten so lucky. We've been so fortunate in so many different ways, big and small. The single-handedly biggest thing we've ever been fortunate enough was to basically have Ryan apply to be the artist for the Heroes Journal. Yeah. His cover letter alone is like a piece of like Heroes Journal lore. And I can't tell you enough how much I love and respect Ryan. I'll say this about Ryan and Kyle, two of the best people I've ever met. Kyle's one of the smartest and most and just good with people I've ever met. Like it's unbelievable. And Ryan, goodness gracious. I've only met Ryan in person one time. And he left such a huge impact on me. He's like just one of the best people I've ever met. He has such good ideals about how the world is and how it should work. He has such a deep love for like animals and for stories and for characters, obviously. He's such a nerd, but he's not, I don't know. I guess he's not like weird. I don't know. That might be sort of derogatory towards nerdy people. That's not my goal. He just has such a good balance of like letting the things that he's a fan of, really engage him, but not losing a grip on the real world. And the other thing I love about Ryan is he's very principled. Like when he believes in something, he really believes in it. Like Ryan hates AI with a passion, especially AI art. And I love that. I love that Ryan's like, he's like, we will never use AI art while I'm here at the Heroes Journal. And I'm like, yes, sir. I agree with that. And so anyway, yeah, love Ryan, love Kyle. It's been a fun road. It's been a bumpy road at times, but I cannot believe that we've been doing it for this long because it's like the dream job. And yeah, fantastic people, truly. Juanita says, it sounds like we need to take a vacation somewhere. I know. We really do. We really, really do. But yeah, Kyle has been here for a long time. So is Ryan. And it's been great. It's been great. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. This is my problem with solo live streaming. I get too excited. I just start like monologuing and I stop reading the comments. And it's not good because you guys showed up here. I asked for your engagement and then I'm not even engaging back. But we're going to fix that. All right. Kiara said Avatar animated, not the live action movie. I understand the difference. I'm going to watch the animated. Jacques said, I bought the Heroes Journal for my whole team at work for Christmas. Really? Or Xmas, based on their fandoms. That was probably a hit. If my boss got me like a nerdy little journal kind of based on like my favorite fandom, I think I would never quit that job. That's a really good move on your part. Victoria said, I'm with Ryan on AI. Yeah, I agree. Kiara said, come to Florida. I'll take you to theme parks. Honestly, that's where I met Ryan, and we did go. That's where I met you, Kiara. That was on that trip. That was the first and only time I've ever met Ryan. Isn't that crazy? We also met Kiara there. You were kind of a part of the first meeting of the minds, if you will. So fantastic. Lynn said, I really enjoy the art of the Heroes Journal. I do too. And it's funny because I think that, I was reading through some reviews this week. I've been trying to dig up more reviews. And so if you've never left a review on the Heroes Journal, whether you're on the first page of the Heroes Journal, or maybe you don't even have a journal, you can still leave a review for our website or for our brand. I just want you to know, I read every single one. There has not been a single review that we've ever gotten anywhere that I haven't read. There's not a single YouTube video or TikTok video or Instagram video like reviewing our product, if we're tagged in it, that I have not watched. Like I see all of it. And I read the good and the bad. Like I want all of it. It's, it's obviously my baby. So it's like, I got to read all of it. And I want you to know that if you guys write a review, and especially if you leave like a video unboxing or just like a quick, some of your thoughts on it, on how nice the product is or what your life has been like after using the Heroes Journal. You don't have to even put your face in it. Any kind of just like human review goes so much farther than you even know. I share them even on my personal social media accounts. We share them with the team. We share them obviously on our Heroes Journal accounts, and they're also on the website. Like people can see them. And as you know, when you're shopping, you want to see if there's real reviews, not just bots and stuff. And so I just want you guys to hear that, like, obviously, if you're here, you care about the Heroes Journal in some way, shape, or form. And if the journal has done anything positive for you, I would just ask you, please leave a review. And I think I can send you a link. I think. Maybe I can't. I don't know. But I think if you go to our website, you can go to the actual product that you bought, whether it's a journal or SideQuest deck or whatever. And I think you can leave a review that way. I think. I don't know. If some brave soul here wants to try it. But anyway, that would mean a lot to us. How do you want those reviews submitted? Yeah, go ahead and see on the website if you can just like go to the product page of the thing you bought. And I think if you go to the reviews, you can like leave a review for that product. I'm pretty sure. If you can't, if a brave soul wants to see if you can do that and confirm if I'm telling the truth, that'd be appreciated. And if you can't, we'll figure it out right now together. Pretty sweet. Jenna said, where'd it go? Jenna said, I bought journals for everyone in my kiddos D&D group. I wish I had a D&D group as a kid. That's so cool. You probably just became the coolest person. You're the talk of the town in that D&D group, I bet. That's a really cool gift for everyone to get. Jeff said, who is the person in most of the early videos with the blue hair? That is Jenna. We used to work with Jenna. She was on the team for about 2 years. Incredible person, one of the friendliest people I've ever met. She came on to help us make some videos and stuff, and we moved on, kind of parted ways last year. No bad blood. Jenna still DMs me and comments on anything that I post on my personal about Heroes Journal stuff. We're still in good spirits. And so Jenna actually has her own like brand that she really puts a lot of work and effort into, and she's really good at social media. And so I think that she wanted to do more of that full time, which was nice. But cool. Jeff, that's a good idea. I should put it in a school post. Lynn, I never thought about Goodreads. Are we on Goodreads? I'm going to Google and see if the Heroes Journal is on Goodreads. Because I guess like we might technically. Wait, we are. Wait, that's so weird. This is crazy. I had no idea we were on Goodreads. And we have an actual review from Heather. Oh, this is a great review. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Heather. I'd be surprised if you're in this live stream. That'd be crazy. We are on Goodreads. If you just type in the Heroes Journal Goodreads, there's not a lot of content. It's just like basically the description of the Heroes Journal, like a product description, and then there's a really nice review. And it's like it's only 5 reviews, but they're all 5 stars. So, hey Nicole, how you doing? Color my planner with my son's D&D group meets. Why does everyone have super cool kids that have Dungeons and Dragons groups? I feel like that wasn't a thing when I was a kid, and that's so cool to hear. I think Dungeons and Dragons is one of the best things for someone's brain and for someone's ego. Just like it's so good for you in so many ways. It teaches you how to like kind of improvise and play with someone else in like an imaginative sense. You know what I mean? Like it lets you like, it makes you put your guard down a little bit and be like, okay, let's play along. I think a lot of the time someone's like, they'll say a crazy idea and that initial resistance of like, oh, I don't want anything to do with that. That D&D, like it makes you cut that down and it makes you be open to just like, I don't know, to whatever could happen. So I think that's cool. But anyway, pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. I think, hold on. Let me make sure this is all working. Okay, sorry. Book Hugga, thanks for popping in, saying what's up and popping out. I love that. I love when people pop in, check on the live stream. Hey guys, just want to say hi. Having a really busy week. I'm going to go lay low for a little bit, but I want you to know I'm still here. That's like such a nice, that's such a nice thing about how many live streams that you do you like listen to where people come in and they're like, "Hey guys, just saying hi"? It makes me feel like we're all like a big bar, like a big dinner table or something. And someone might not be able to make it this weekend, and they're still popping in to say hi because that means they know that they're cared for and they're seen, and that's a cool thing, especially to find on the internet. I'm so behind on comments, guys. I'm so sorry. Here's Journal's on Fable. Well, I don't even know what Fable is, Pondering Hobbit. Can someone tell me what Fable is? Remember earlier in this live stream when I was like, I've read every single review on the Heroes Journal ever. I don't know. I might actually be lying to you because apparently I didn't know we were on Goodreads and we had a whole review on there I'd never seen before. And apparently we're on Fable, which I don't even know what that is. So I think I just bold-faced lied to everyone. I have not read every review, but I'm trying. So there you go. There you go. Nova says we're an intergalactic tavern. That's lore accurate, and I should have said that. You're right. Jeff said D&D is great, but I couldn't sustain being a player in a group. That's fair. The commitment to D&D, I think, that is the hardest part. That's the biggest barrier of really getting into it, is just making like a consistent time every week to meet up with a group and keep the story going. If you can manage that, which is not nothing, but if you can manage that, I feel like it can be a well of positivity and imaginative juice for your life. But I get that. And look, hey, for those who might not be able to make that time, there's this really cool journal that kind of makes your life feel like a D&D campaign. It's called the Heroes Journal. Just check it out. Can someone tell me what Fable? Okay, Fable's a non-Amazon owned Goodreads. I didn't even know Amazon owns Goodreads. That makes me sad, actually. Fable, the Heroes Journal. No, I don't see it. I don't see it. Sorry. I just did a quick Google search. Anyway, we also, much to my chagrin, and I hate to bring up Amazon, but we did start selling on Amazon right before Black Friday last year. And it's been an adjustment. We fought against selling on Amazon for like 5 years. Like everyone that I talked to was like, get on Amazon. What are you doing? And to tell you the truth, I think just my ego and just being stubborn, I was like, no, I like selling only on their website. And I like selling at Comic Cons, and I like selling in like Ma and Pa bookstores, But unfortunately, the market is the market. You can't ignore what people like to do. And I think over half the purchases, or at least half the purchases made on the internet are made on Amazon. And if I was king for the day, I would make it not that way, but it is. And so I say all that to say, if you are an Amazon person, and I don't blame you if you're not, I understand that. I actually respect that. But if you are an Amazon person, whether convenience or, whatever reasons you might have, leave us a review on Amazon. You can also do that. Our Amazon store is really new. And to be so honest with you, it's kind of a mess. We hired like an agency to help us like get started on Amazon, because there is a lot of native specific knowledge to getting on that platform that we just didn't have time to learn. And it just looks not the best. I'm not very pumped on it. I think I'm gonna have to go in there and fix it. I should probably get on that. But anyway, that would also be appreciated, because Amazon reviews also are really important. Okay, gosh, enough. Look at me just asking you guys for stuff. Just like, gimme. Kiara said, I still have that gift for you from that convention, but you moved from Seattle and now I don't know where to send it. I live in Austin. I'm even closer to you now. Kiara, shoot me a DM on School, if you're on School, or shoot me an email, nick@theheroesjournal.co. I would love to get this gift from you. I don't know. Is that bad? Fantastic. Okay. Hard to read the reviews if you don't know where they are. That's true, Joanna. You're right. You are right. Okay. All right, guys. Enough about me. Look at me being such a taker today. Write a review. Tell me about this. Tell me about that. I want to talk about you. I want to talk about y'all. I want to hear about some brags from you guys. I think it's about that time. Brag o'clock. Okay. So, if one of you lovely folks would like to start a thread on Facebook, you can't do that on YouTube. For all the Facebook folks, that'd be nice. On YouTube, just dump your brags into the chat. If you are new or you're watching for the first time and you're like, what the heck is going on? This is a live stream from the Heroes Journal. And we try to make this the most positive live stream we possibly can because there's already so much negative stuff. Just turn on the news or open TikTok. So we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to take like 5-10 minutes. You guys are going to brag. You're going to, meaning you're just going to type a comment, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. And I want you to, when you're typing this comment, throw any humility out the door. Throw it out the door. Put it on pause, okay? I want you guys to hop on and truly brag. Pat yourself on the back publicly. We're also going to pat you on the back. But look, whether your brag is that you just made it through the week and you're still alive, or your brag is I just graduated with my PhD and I'm going to space with NASA as an astronaut or something like that, or anything in between. All brags are welcome, okay? We don't size each other up. Brags are totally subjective. We do this because I believe you are doing far better than you think you are. And sometimes it just takes you putting it out there and saying it out loud or typing it out loud and me saying it out loud to you. And then likely people you never met, giving you a big thumbs up, giving you a little reminder, like you actually are doing really great. You're doing the work, you're putting your head down, and things are going better than it might feel like they are. So that's what Brag O'Clock is all about. So please, without further ado, I'm going to start reading brags. Okay. I think Nicole's first, if I'm not mistaken. Nicole, please correct me if I'm wrong. The comments are looking a little funky today, but Nicole said, I walked over 5,000 steps the other day. I think that's a brag. I'm gonna say that's a brag. I'm not sure if you're replying to something else, but I'm calling that a brag for you. Sky said, my brag is really just that I let myself rest and recover after the fairy market. But also doing the fairy market, I feel like is a brag. Both are very good, the doing it and the resting from it, double brag. I'm also still recovering from a concussion. That's right. So I have been very frustrated, but very careful not to push myself. I think that's wise. And I hope you're feeling better, Sky. And thank you for showing up to live stream despite that. Hopefully you feel supported and cared for. That story sounded brutal. And hope you're okay. Okay. Akira said, proud of all the heroes. You're doing great work. Keep up the good work. Okay, Akira, sweet. But what's your brag? Okay, Jeff said, finished my crazy month or so. Percussion championships are finished. Second place. Hey, that's a brag right there. And I also finished my K 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 grade. Okay, K through 5th grade concerts. That sounds like a lot of work. Success. Took the day off today. You earned it. Feeling so tired. Relax. Look at you bringing up the next generation of incredible musicians, Jeff. That's a great brag. I love it. And I want to hear from you, Jeff. What is your favorite percussion instrument or band? If you do a big orchestra or what? I want to hear what your favorite percussion instrument is, Jeff. What's your favorite to play or to listen to? I don't know. Okay. Lynn said, I wrote a newsletter that I have been putting off for 6 months. I don't know why it took me so long, but I got it done yesterday. That is a great brag, Lynn. That's incredible. I totally know what it's like to be putting off that creative work, publishing, pressing publish on that thing, having it just like marinate for months and months. But I want to reframe it in a positive way and say it's probably that much better because you sort of let it marinate for that long. And I'm sure by the time you press publish, it was like really, really ready. You'll never be 100% ready, but that's a good brag. Appreciate you, Lynn. Victoria said, brag. Yesterday and today were the first time in forever, all caps, that my to-do list has everything checked off. That's a good feeling. I hope that you celebrate this weekend. Take a long nap, do whatever you need to do. Very good. Okay, I got to go fast. Melanie said, I started a rough draft of legit outline. Okay, this is a brag. Melanie said, I started a rough draft of a legit outline like I'm writing a high school book report, but it outlines my plans to get healthier physically and mentally. That sounds very helpful. That's really cool. The Hero's Journal kind of does that. And I hope you keep us updated on that journey. Hopefully that feels really good and empowering and doable because you're very capable of doing it, Melanie. Good brag. Juanita said, I own a franchise and Google has screwed my business royally. Right? I think you're trying to say business royally, like I've been screwed royally, but I don't know. Google has screwed my business royally with keywords, and I've been battling them about keywords, and we had a major win against them this past week. Wow, that's big. Google can have such an effect, especially on like local franchise businesses and reviews and stuff. Ugh, they're tough. I know what that's like, Juanita. Good brag. Congratulations. Deb said, my brag, I got the DirecTV satellite off my roof without falling and dying. A little morose, but that is a good brag. And what a weight off your shoulders and off the shoulders of your house, which is what a roof is. You heard it here first. Okay. Pondering Hobbit said, I simplified my budget so it doesn't confuse me anymore. That's a great brag. I also created a spreadsheet to help me organize my notes for sharing my posts and thoughts on Substack. Wow. What an incredible brag that is. It's so easy to get excited about setting up a new system to keep you more organized, but that ends up being just confusing and like cumbersome. Simplifying it so it's easier to use is like big brain brag behavior with a lot of B's. Okay, Sky said, oh, that's a response. Nova said, as you so nicely highlighted, I started my first Hero's Journal today after it arrived yesterday. My brag is that even though I got 2 hours of sleep, I still did the front matter of my journal. Wow. Well, I hope you get some more sleep than 2 hours. That's not good. Nova, the journey is long and it's also undated. Take your time, get some sleep. It'll be there in the morning. But hey, congratulations. Another hero starting another quest, making the world a better place. I love that. Okay, I think it's my Shay. Am I overcomplicating this? Misha? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably not. Brag on Facebook. I made it through another day. I'm just trying to be happy. I love that brag. We always have 1 or 2 of those. That's kind of my brag this week, to be so honest with you. Just kind of making it through means you didn't quit. It means that you're still around, you're still here, you're still standing, and that's worth bragging about, especially after a tough week. I'm right there with you. What else are we doing? Hi, Allie. We're bragging right now if you want to hop in. Julie said, I finally bought a drawing tablet. I'm learning how to use the thing. That is really cool. You should bring that up next week when Ryan's back. Actually, it might be 2 weeks. He's out of the country. But congratulations. I didn't realize that you were an artist like that, Julie. Or even if you're not, then you're becoming one. Okay, Terry said, took a vacation and actually rested. Great brag. Moving offices, health department, and health inspectors this month. That's a good brag. I'm glad that you got some rest and relaxation. Ready to hit the ground running. And it's good to see your name in here, Terry. There is no form, Allie. I'm just going to pick someone to give something to today because I didn't want to have to deal with it, to be so honest with you. And I'm still considering, so you have time. Okay, what else? Okay, Ashley said 2 more weeks of being unable to walk as I recover from ankle surgery. Ooh, sorry. But I have been holding strong and continue to hold my boundaries against my ex. That's right. Thank you for the update. And wow, yeah, staying strong. Hopefully there's like some way you can still be active. You know, not being able to walk, that's really hard for so many reasons. So I don't know, yoga or just keeping your mind sane, especially with like the baggage of the X thing. That's a good brag. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're sending updates. It's good to see your name here, Ashley. Good brag. Congratulations. Jaqui said, I started developing my run for city council. Well, oh boy, I'd vote for you, especially after you gifted your whole team Hero's Journals. That's awesome. I'd vote for you for city council. Okay. Ali hopped in here and said, my brag is that I made it through the day at work. That's all. Hey, no brags too big or too small. That's fantastic. Jeff hopped back in here with the percussion question that I asked him. He said, the marimba is my favorite. 4 mallet performing is my favorite. That is always so impressive. You know, a little fun fact for everyone here at the Heroes Journal live stream. I was in percussion in band. And I did play marimba on some songs. Never the 4 mallets, though. I was not that talented. But the marimba is like, I feel like one of the only percussion instruments that's like not like shrill or really hard on your ears when a child plays it, if that makes sense. I don't know. Jeff knows what I'm talking about. Okay. What else we got? Book Hugga said, my brag, resting after picking up sticks in the yard, like that old nursery rhyme that has the phrase 5, 6, pick up sticks. That's great. I don't know why that makes me laugh so much. It's like a little nursery rhyme, brag. It's beautiful. Okay. Jeff said, my brag is that I'm letting everyone else brag without getting in their way. Hey, it's a bit of a cop-out, Jeff. I'm not going to lie to you. But hey, a brag is a brag is a brag. And I appreciate you leaving space for other people to brag. Very good. But if you change your mind, I'm here to read it. Okana said, my brag is I have won the March squat challenge I was in. What? We got a champion in here. I had just over 9,000 squats for the month. Hold on. 9,000 squats. Is there 31 days in March? Yeah. That's 290 squats a day. Are you serious, Wakon? For the month. 9,000 squats for the month. I entered again for April. And since the first already, have 3,000 done already. If we're only 4 days in. This is so impressive. This is like mind-blowing to me. 290 squats a day. How do you do it, Wakanda? Do you do them all at once? And there's no way you do them all at once, right? Anyway, sorry. I am endlessly curious about that. This is obviously an incredible brag. Congratulations. Wow. Squat champion. Jeff said, my group does not perform WGI, just local. KIDA is our circuit, but I love WGI, DCI, etc. I don't even know what those mean. I'm just reading them out loud. Little response from Jeff to Jeff, I think. Okay. I don't want to miss any brags. I'm sorry if I did. I got seen. Okay, this is Julia Garcia. A brag from Julia, I believe. I got seen at not 1, but 2 auditions today. I'm so happy independently of the results. Look at that. Healthy mental reframe you have. It's the win I needed this week. Julia, if you don't mind me asking, if you don't mind sharing, what are you auditioning for? What are you being seen? I want to know. Jeff said, also can't walk. Cat on my lap. Understanding. Nick's one-man show. That's right. Okay. Oh, here we go. Kiara, bracket clock. Trying to find joy at work. Learning silly dad jokes to share with my guests and determined to make them laugh and have fun. I wanted to ask Kiara, if you don't mind. I know I don't want to put you on the spot. You were one of the universe tier backers from the Heroes Planner Kickstarter. I know this is like ancient history at this point, but I was thinking about you because we were talking about the custom pages that we made for backers of that tier. And I was wondering, I don't know if you're in the school group. I'm pretty sure I've seen your name, but if you are in the school group, could you please share like those 4 panels from that? If you're willing to. Look, it is yours. We made it for you specifically, but the little tavern universe that we created for your custom pages, like I think about it all the time and I love it. Okay. Sorry. Again, me being such a taker, asking today. Okay. What else we got? I think I got all of them. No, I didn't. Not even close. Shoot. Okay. Currently visiting brother-in-law on the way home. Fortunately, not a brag. My husband finally built play structure for the kiddos after 4 years. That is not my brag. Sorry, Sky. I thought you said that. Not a brag. Okay, Sky's husband, who I have met and is a gem of a human, finally built the play structure for the kiddos after 4 years. Hey, better late than never. Always time to play, you know? I know, 9,000 squats. Okay, well, Connor said it was 500 to 1,000 a day, taking the weekends off. That is mind blowing. Sorry, I can't even like think straight. That broke my brain. Okay. Julia said, I got seen for The Outsiders on Broadway. Whoa. And for Dames at See It Florida Studio Theater. That's incredible. Julia, I really hope to see you next week or in the coming weeks. I want to know if you have made it. That's incredible. Everyone wish Julia good vibes and good luck on her auditions that she did today. But look, even if she didn't get them, it's not about that. It's not about that. It's about knowing, and she said this in her original brag. You can go up and read it. She said, I just like to be seen. I'm just grateful for the opportunity to audition. And what a healthy frame of mind that is. All right, you guys. All right. I said this at the beginning of the live stream, and I'm going to stand by it. I said I'm not going to spin the wheel. We're not doing a form today, but we are going to give something away because it is still Free Journal Friday. I'm going to give away. It can be a free. It can be a side quest deck. It can be a journal. It can be a planner. I'm giving it away to Wakana. I'm giving it away to Wakana because Wakana is the 9,000 squat champion. And my brain I can't stop thinking about the fact that you did 9,000 squats and you're already 3,000 squats in on April. I know you said no resistance. That doesn't even matter. That's still so impressive. And you know what? You were the champion, and I feel like you deserve a prize. So you're the winner of Free Journal Friday, Wakana. If you are up to your gills in Free Journal stuff or just Heroes Journal stuff, and you would like to gift it to someone else, maybe in the school group, you're more than welcome to do that. Just let me know privately via email. But go ahead. I know that you're here, so I'm just going to say email support. I'll type in the actual email address, support@theheroesjournal.co. Please send me an email, support@theheroesjournal.co with your address and whatever you want. Deck. I mean, we're not in stock on creativity decks. Sorry about that. We're sold out. But journals that we have, planners that we have, decks that we have, or anything else that you want, we will send you a free one. Just congratulations. Yeah, how cute, how incredible. I still can't believe that. Guys, look, thank you for showing up to the live stream. Even though it was just me today, I know it was a different vibe. It's different for me too, but I'm in awe all the time of how incredible the community is here. We set out a long time ago with the Heroes Journal to be the kindest journal on the market and the most interesting one to look at, the one that is the most fun to sit down with. I was making ads this week. I was thinking through just like, what does it feel like to sit down with the Heroes Journal? And I was like, you know what? It feels like you're sitting down with an old, wise wizard friend. You know, it feels more like a cup of tea. And I think that there's a lot of planners out there that feels like you're sitting down with like a robot who's also like a drill sergeant, you know? And I hope that we can continue to create that feeling for heroes everywhere and to help people unlearn whatever toxic productivity that they've absorbed from the world, whatever pressure they feel like they have to put into journaling. And I hope that we can make kind products that kindly invite you to be the hero of your story, to be the hero of your life, and to not to live up to some imaginary expectation or, you know, give in to some fake pressure from the world that you should be a certain way. That's like my happiest thing. So thank you guys for spending an hour or so of your time on Friday of all days with me, a stranger from the internet. If you have ever supported the Heroes Journal, whether you've bought something or you just sat in the live streams and listened to me ramble, or you've ever joined the school group and commented or any of the sort, it means the world to me. We're a small team. It's like me, Kyle, Ryan, and a few other incredibly talented people. We've been doing this for 6 years, and it's just like been the greatest gift in the world. And I still can't believe I get to do this. I was talking to someone at a dinner earlier this week. I'm going to end on the story, I promise, and then I'll stop. I was at a dinner this week, Yeah, and someone was sort of like, wait, what do you do? Like, what is it that you do? They weren't being that condescending, but it sort of felt like it. And I was like, man, I have the best job in the world. I was like, I wanted to use a nerdy journal like 6 years ago, just for my own weird narrative brain. And so I made one for me. Like I hired an artist, Ryan, and I talked to my best friend about it, Kyle. And I was like, I want to make this weird, like nerdy journal. I don't know if anyone's even gonna like it. I might just use it for me. And here we are, like years and years later, and many people here, I'm sure, have the similar narrative thing in their brain that really enjoys what the Hero Journal brings to the table. And now I'm just sitting here talking to my camera on a live stream. Crazy stuff. Okay, guys. Hey, have a good weekend. And remember, and never forget this, if you're going to quest,